Yep, welcome back to the vlog. Welcome back to About San Francisco. Right here at the Powell Street Cable Car Turnaround, Union Square neighborhood. So nice tonight. Weekend. This is Friday night in San Francisco. Lots of people all around San Francisco. See, the turnaround is really busy. San Francisco Center on the other side. Yep, and your good old San Francisco cable cars. The only moving National Historic Landmark. Yep, well, we're gonna walk up the hill, walk over to the wharf, show you what things look like. If you're staying here at the Axiom Hotel, you have a short commute to the heart of San Francisco. Powell Street, BART, Muni, Transport Hub. Jollibee is opening soon after years of delay, finally opening. Yep. Nice area there. Bar and Muni stop. And San Francisco Center right there.
I'm so blessed because you give me life. Pray for them. Pray. Let's go pray. Don't worry. Let's go pray.
Yep, weekend, Friday night in San Francisco. About an hour and a half or so before the sun sets. Got the IKEA up there. San Francisco Center, the empty San Francisco Center right here. Of course, ferry building way down there at the end of Market Street. Of course, Market is only taxi and bus only anymore, and of course, street cars and bicycles and scooters is fine, pedestrians. But we are going this way. Right up the hill of Powell. Oh yeah.
God look your heart.
So nice on Powell Street. This whole area is getting reimagined. Whole new little lighting scape and a lot more lighting, probably 3 or 4 times the amount of lighting. So this area at night will maybe even more trees would be my guess. If you can put more trees in here. But yep, cable car is finally moving into position. Yep. Here we go, the only moving National landmark. Historic landmark. A lot of people here on the weekend in the end of July. Oh yeah, very cool. All right, we're gonna start walking up the hill. Maybe we'll catch the cable car up the hill, because that's a little local knowledge, a little local hack. You don't want to wait in line. And actually, this line is really not that bad today. I've seen it obviously much, much worse. If you don't want to wait in line, you can just do what I'm doing and walk a couple stops up the line and then get back on. Like middle of the hill there would be a good little locals hack. So that's only if there's not a line. This line is not all that bad. You would not be waiting all that long. There's a good line of cable cars coming up and down Powell Street at the moment. So certainly they're prepared for the weekend, not holiday, but end of July weekend. Nice weather. Tell a lot of tourists are out. So, okay, I'm gonna try to do a walk by walk up and down Powell Street line that goes all the way towards Hyde. Famous John's Grill. Right here down Ellis. Maltese Falcon fame, if you know it. Nice history. Look it up. Yep. One goes up the hill, another one comes down all day long. Used to be the only way to travel these hills, right there. Iconic cable car. About 1860s or so. 1850, 1860, 1870 was the time that this was all invented. Nice evening. Just do a little walking, maybe get some dinner. Watch scenes of San Francisco right in fold right in front of you. Very fun thing to do, even for locals. All right, well, let's see if we can walk up Hyde Street and maybe one of these cars will be a little less crowded and we'll catch a ride up the hill. All right, let's start walking. There you can see the streetscape, and like I said, a lot more lights. Lighting and other kinds of visual elements will be added to that block and this next block as well, as we try to get Union Square back on track. Back rented and got life in it. A lot of people out tonight. Just walking up Powell Street. Just past Ellis. This is O'Farrell. and we'll hit Geary and Post. So, all right, come along. Gonna do some walking and see what things look like here in end of July. There you go, flagship Pop Mart here in San Francisco. Always busy, cool place. Lots liveliness on Powell tonight. Still about an hour and a half before sunset, so gonna walk up the hill, see what things look like. Next stop here on Geary and Powell. That side's Union Square entrance. Get your Svoskorsky, I guess. Good old Weston St. Francis. Uber right out front. Okay, nobody's coming. Across here. Yep. Got the Union Square heart. 4 of these, 1 on each corner. Nice landscaping though, all around Union Square. Lots of people milling around. The Union Square Muni stop right over there. Oh, there we go. Ping pong action, foosball action, badminton hitting around. Nice night. Yep, nice views here at Union Square for sure. This is right where the good old Christmas tree would be. Right where they're playing some badminton. Lots of activity here tonight in Union Square. Ice skating rink would have been right over there in the winter time. Well, let's keep walking up Powell Street. Nice, another heart. Yep. All right. Let's go up the hill. See what things look like. Apple Store, Tiffany & Co. Nike store on the end. That's Post and Geary, or sorry, Post and Powell. All right, let's keep walking up the hill. All right, a little further up Powell, about halfway now. Getting towards the top of Nob Hill. Right at what used to be the Sir Francis Drake Beacon Grand. Right here going up towards Nob Hill. All right, Got a green. Let's go across the street. This is Sutter now. JW Marriott. Right there, downtown. All right, let's keep going right up the hill. Nice, nice architecture all throughout this part of the city. Nice Japanese restaurant. Little hidden Victorian or Edwardian style building. Yeah, very cool. So we head right up the cable car line on Powell Street, heading to the top of Nob Hill. Okay, right on Bush. Still going up. Nice views of downtown. It's right towards the financial district. All right, let's keep climbing the hill. Only a couple blocks to go now. All right. All right. On Pine Street. Boy, need a rest after that hill from Bush to Pine. Okay, a little bit farther up the hill. Right here. Actually, haven't seen a cable car now in a little bit. That's sometimes what happens. All right, let's keep walking up the hill towards the top. Robots yield for pedestrian. Yep. Rarely a dull moment here in San Francisco, especially on the weekends. Well, seems to be some issues getting into the car, but all right. Here's the California Street line. Hey, how are you? Look at that. As long as it's not raining, Waymo's got it covered. No problem. Another happy tram ride, cable car ride, back down towards Market Street. Nice. Yep. If you see a cable car coming up the hill, that's when you want to grab it. There you go, perfect time to jump on. Usually much better than at the ends. A lot of law enforcement out just in the past 10 minutes. That's the top. Now time to head down to the wharf. All right, let's do that. Yep, good time to get on when others are getting off. That is much better than waiting in line if there's a big line at the turnaround spots. But they have done the hill and now they're heading back down towards the wharf. Pretty quick ride in all, probably less than 15 minutes. But this was the mode of transportation for a long time, many decades in San Francisco. Walking, horses, or the iconic cable car. Yep, and down to the wharf. Not a straight line, of course. This is Powell. So they'll go up Washington here, and then they'll go all the way to Hyde, pretty much. But Nice, nice evening. A little walk. Sacramento here. As we head down towards the wharf, lots of Teslas and Waymos. And irate people in the back of cabs. But look at that nice view. North Beach and of the wharf. Very, very cool. Okay. Let's keep going. Turn around. Got yet another cable car coming down the hill towards the wharf. Yep, definitely the thing to do, whether you're a tourist or a local. Good way to get around on the cable car. All right, well, we're on the downward slope now. Let's see if one of these cable cars we can jump on if we get to the right location. Get at the stop at the right time. Wow, nice evening in North Beach and in Chinatown. All right, let's keep walking towards the wharf. Here's one of the Ys, Washington and Powell. Yep, just like that, right up the hill. Cables just go constantly. All right. We're gonna start walking up Washington, actually. A little ways. As we watch another one coming down Washington Street, right next to where the cable car barn is. Right here. Nice little coffee shop. Yep, how'd you like to live on the cable car line? I would like it. I'd be okay with it. Problem is, My current economics is not okay with it. A lot of these flats are quite a bit for just 1 or 2 bedrooms. Oh yeah. Yep, cable car barn and museum right there, the brick building. Came straight up from Ghirardelli. Now they're turning right in the shadows of the Transamerica up towards Powell and the turnaround on Market Street. Just waiting for the green signal. There you go, very cool. Yep. Coffee Movement, it says. Nice little shop here. This is between Nob Hill and Russian Hill now. Up there would still be pretty much Nob Hill, but heading towards Russian Hill for sure. All right, well, Cable Car Museum is right there. Nice views of San Francisco as you walk around. It's right down Washington Street towards the waterfront, towards the bayfront. Okay. Cable Car Museum here on Mason and Washington. So nice. All right, so we're gonna walk down Mason a little bit. This is the Cable Car Barn and Museum. All the cables, I think it's 6 cables in total, go out to 3 different parts of the city and then wrap around back here. Powell Street, of course, California down near the Embarcadero and Market. And then the Hyde Street there at Aquatic Park, Ghirardelli. There's the big, huge cables. See him turning over there. That is the cable moving. Cable system. Museum on the top there. You got the little walkways. You can walk around and see them work here in the shop. That is some extra cable right there. That is enormous. Yep, that's your operational cable car museum and cable car workhouse. All right, let's keep walking. All right, got the Jackson Street side. This is one of the turning streets, but that way it's towards the Mason Street line and towards the closer to the wharf that side. But we want to go towards Ghirardelli. So we're gonna walk here, walk up Jackson, and well, we'll see if we can grab a cable car as it comes up the hill, as it climbs all the San Francisco hills. Ooh, halfway up the hill on Jackson. Thought I would check out the view. This is the top side of the Cable Car Museum and Workhouse. That's towards the bay on Jackson. See Transamerica, Embarcadero Center buildings. And where one of the lines comes and goes on this side. We got, I think they have 3 entrances and exits, one on each side here, and then on the Mason Street side. So yeah, but we're gonna keep walking up Jackson. All right, let's keep walking. You can clearly hear the cables. Lovely homes here in these neighborhoods. Nice little treescapes and little pocket parks all over the place. We're gonna keep walking up Jackson. A little bit more. All right, so let's do that. Oh, okay. Top of Jones and Jackson. That's Russian Hill there. Telegraph Hill down over there. Or a little bit toward the north, I should say. Nob Hill here. And up right on the Jackson Street line. Nice evening for a walk, stroll. Okay, let's keep walking down the street. Okay, as we're down here close to Leavenworth. Wow, beautiful architecture. Renovated right there. Cool buildings, if you can grab one of these. Doing well. Nice places here on Jackson. You can see Pack Heights in the distance. More Waymos. Okay, so nice. Let's keep walking. Okay, Came down the bottom, close to the bottom of the hill. This is Broadway now. Broadway and Leavenworth about to hit Hyde. Nice night for a walk. Very nice night for that. Let's head down Broadway. We're walking right above the Broadway tunnel. There is the little entrance and exit and HVAC, I guess you would call it, fan system. Right above the tunnel. Take you right to Chinatown and North Beach. Right, Broadway, heading towards the Bayside, heading towards Embarcadero. This is Broadway heading towards the Presidio. That big green space way up ahead. That'll be the start of the Presidio on Broadway, at the end of Broadway. There we go. That's the Hyde Street line that comes off from Jackson and from Mason. Yep, you can hear those cables. All right, we'll walk on Hyde now. Right up the hill. Nice area to live in, that's for sure.
Regardless of the outcome of Joe, we should go to the
All right. Well, hit Vallejo and Hyde. Heart of Pack Heights. Maybe you could say this would be Lower Pack Heights or Russian Hill, more Russian Hill maybe, I suppose. Come think of it. Waymos all over the place in San Francisco. There's down Vallejo. That'd be Pack Heights there, where Waymo came from. Very nice, right towards the Presidio. There you go, there's a little pocket park right here in the middle of the buildings. A little oasis from the city. Looks like just one lot converted, but you see that a lot in San Francisco, one lot or maybe 3 or 4. Yep. There you go. A little pocket park here, right on Hyde Street. And between Vallejo and Green. This would be this area. Very cool. Yep, every little street corner here now in this part of the city has little cafes and shops and little neighborhood spots. And here, Green and Hyde is no different. A lot of places to check out. Lots of spots. Get your realty if you really care to know. Here you go. Look at that. Anybody afford that? $6 million for a condo. Unreal. There you go. South San Francisco. You don't even get to live in the city. Here's on Hyde. Of course, if you want to go to Oakland, you get a nice discount with the pool. Or if you want to live in the Millennium Tower, the sinking tower of San Francisco, right there. 301 Mission Street, 43rd floor, Plan D. Wow. Well, I think I would choose Mill Valley. Anyway. Another cable car coming down Hyde. Yep. Everybody's happy on the cable car. All right, let's keep walking up the hill. Yep, for sure. It is busy on Hyde Street. Get your ice cream if you want. Drugstore is closed for the day. All right, let's keep walking up the hill, up Hyde Street. There you go, that's the Presidio in the distance. All right. Let's keep a-walking. Made it to Filbert. That is the Presidio, the big national park. Pretty close to sunset. Quite Tower, bridge there. All right. Well, only thing to do is to go right up the hill Lombard Street. Check out the nice architecture. Very cool houses and duplexes and condo buildings, condo towers. That is lovely. So this is George Sterling Park. I think that's what it's called. Sterling Park. And it has a little, one of the best tennis facilities in the world. There's Alcatraz in the distance. Another Waymo. And more views of the bay and of Nob Hill. You can see the bridge over there as well. All right, go right up the park for a moment. Like I say, I'm pretty sure it's called Sterling Park, George Sterling Park. And then it's Alice Marble. It's the court it's named after. This would be Russian Hill. Yeah, I was right. San Francisco. Water Department building. That's the plaque. Amazing views from up here. Got about 10 or 15 minutes before the sun sets. That's the Presidio, way over there. Cable car right there. Look at that. Views. So nice. Yep. All it do is reserve a court. A lot of times they're free. Certain courts, they make you pay. This might be one of the ones they make you pay, actually. I don't know. But this is the view you get. Play a little tennis. Okay, let's keep walking down the hill though. Only a couple steps to go. Wow, look at that. Nearly sunset. All right, let's keep walking. Okay, well, we're getting close to sunset. I think I walked a little too slow. First part of the vlog. Because even now, before sunset, you can tell that the sun's maybe behind. I'm in the headlands a little bit. Even though it's not sunset exact time. But here we are, Hyde and Lombard. Very iconic stop, intersection.
To bych vůbec nikomu neříkala, že jsme jako...
Fun thing to do. Drive up and down Lombard or walk up and down. Very, very cool. There's the park, tennis courts. Amazing view you get here. And right towards the wharf. Only not even a mile away to the wharf now. We are getting close. All right. Let's keep walking down the hill. Good day to drive your convertible. Okay, Hyde and Chestnut. Chestnut and Hyde. Nice addresses right up here. Yep, things are going pretty well if you're on having a dress up here. Okay, well, getting closer to the end, closer to the wharf. You can just see the little McMansions all around here on Hyde Street. These white ones here in particular. Those two both recently sold in the past 4 to 5 years. High dollar. Because your bedroom view is Alcatraz Island. And Ghirardelli with a bridge in the distance. Yep. Francisco Park. Lovely park. Used to be the old reservoir, Russian Hill Reservoir. Yeah, really lovely aquatic park down there. Hyde Street Pier. We're on Hyde Street. Alcatraz there, and Angel Island in the distance. Belvedere Island, Tiburon, Sausalito. You can really see everything now from this vantage point. Got some wind up here now. Very, very cool. And as we come out, what do we see coming up Hyde Street? Yep, that would have been a great ride tonight. Just a little bit of wind, but pretty nice and calm. Next stop for that cable car was Lombard Street. You can still hear the cables. Pan around to see some of these iconic houses here. So cool. One down, one coming up. Yep, you always remember riding cable cars. It is an experience. So we're at Hyde in Francisco. Got double bridge views. Got the Bay Bridge view. Of course, got Alcatraz Island and the WHARF. And the Golden Gate Bridge view. Pretty iconic location. Russian Hill. Okay, right in the middle part of the park. Nice little map there, way signage. Yep, built on the city's first reservoir. There you go. Okay. Well, let's keep walking down the hill. Okay, we're in the middle of the park. We'll walk through the park really quick like. Still got some daylight. This is what an old reservoir used to look like. There used to be a huge cap on this thing. You know, one of those floating concrete roofs above the reservoir. It's off limits, you know, so it would float up and down. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of gallons might have been in this reservoir, but it was enormous. But this is Russian Hill. This is your view. If you live here in Russian Hill, this is the perfect spot to take in Fleet Week. I've done it right here at this park. This is a great spot to do it. Very, very cool. Great park. Only been opened, I don't know, maybe 6, 7 years now, I suppose. Maybe 8 years even. but certainly newer park for the size. Probably the newest large park, that's for sure. I mean, it's a big, as you can see, a lot of space was transformed. A lot of public and private donations as well. Something like 40 million maybe? 35, 40, 45 million, something, a pretty large number that it took to renovate this space. But they did a great job. Did a real good job. Look at the iconic views. Steps away from Ghirardelli. Lots of great food options down there on the wharf, around Ghirardelli and up and down the wharf. Of course, in the Marina District as well. If you go north here into Chestnut and Union. Yeah, nice. Nice park. Francisco Park in Russian Hill. Okay, we're pretty much right at sunset, official sunset time. Now, end of July. Saw lots of cable cars tonight, going on all different lines. It's a nice night to do a little walk, though, that is for sure. Well, help me out and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark, so any help would be great. Just vlog around San Francisco. Show you what things look like. Of course, things in Russian Hill look really nice. If you're lucky enough to live in Russian Hill, you're doing good. Certainly are enjoying life. All right. Let's keep walking down the hill. More views of multiple bridges. It's Bay. And this is Bay towards the Presidio. Right there. As you can see, the Zeusk, Amazon Zeusk. Yep. Getting more and more of that style as well. All right, we're gonna walk straight down Hyde here. This is now towards the Buena Vista Cafe and Aquatic Park, Argonaut Hotel down here, and amazing restaurants all up and down. Another cable car coming up Hyde Street. Yep, definitely can get on that car. See, that's a good trick. If there's if it's busy down at the start line at the turnaround, get on mid-block. North Point and Hyde. Good little spot. Let's see. Got a Waymo here. North Point towards Embarcadero. Great restaurant, Gary Danko's right there. Ghirardelli, right there in the distance. This is right where you can catch the 30 bus. That is a good bus that goes up and down from the wharf to the Caltrain station. It's at number 30. Right here at the Buena Vista Cafe. Yep, right down beach, Hyde Beach. Nice Argonaut Hotel right on the wharf. Well, we'll walk from one cable car turnaround to the next cable car turnaround. Well, thanks for coming on the vlog. Went all the way from Market Street, on Powell, on Washington, past the cable car barn and museum and powerhouse. Yep. Right here towards beach at the wharf. There we go. 3 cable cars ready to pick up more amazing people exploring San Francisco. Another little coffee shop across the way there that's open during the mornings and midday. Yep. All right. Well, sun is definitely gone down. A couple minutes ago now. Just right here at the edge of dusk. This good line over here, though. I think there's more people in this line. Yeah, for sure there's more people in this cable car line. Once again, the only historic registry. Yeah, the only moving. There they are, good old cable cars. Well, this guy's getting ready to go, for sure. A couple minutes away and got a lot of people waiting here. But like I was saying, trick is if there's a long line, you go midway up the block, walk 3, 4, 6 blocks even, and you will probably be able to get on. Unless you're like a big group of 6 or 8 or 10 people. But here we are. Made it. Aquatic Park in Ghirardelli. Yep. Pretty nice July we're having. Been really nice. This is the last part of July. And we've had some nice days already in July. Doesn't mean it doesn't get foggy. It has still gotten foggy, but there's been plenty of breaks in between those foggy days. And certainly yesterday and today were very nice days. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. That's the bridge. Can't really see a whole lot anymore. We just missed the sunset on the bridge by a few minutes, but I shot it the other day. You can see not cruise ship, the container ship barely squeezed under that. Wow. That is right on the edge, that bridge. Oh yeah. So nice. That's a little dolphin club right here in case you want to do a little swimming at Aquatic Park. There's 2 swimming clubs back to back, the Blue Dolphin Club, and then the other one, I don't even know what it's called, San Francisco Swim Club or something like that, I forget. But that's Hyde Street Pier. It's the start of the WHARF district. Of course, a little national, part of the national park, of course, here in Fort Mason. Yep. All right. Well, that's might be about all for the vlog as we look up Hyde Street. Right there, the beach and Hyde. Hyde Street, the cable car turnaround. Well, thanks a lot for watching the vlog. Like, comment, and subscribe. There's the little Ferris wheel down the way. And the Argonaut Hotel. And of course, good seafood and all fare up and down here in the wharf. Well, yep. There's Hyde Street Pier. That's the pier. Last remnants of it. All right. Thanks a lot for watching the vlog. We've made it to the waterfront. I will sign off here. Lots of people up and down the waterfront and North Beach and Chinatown. Yeah, there's these little historical markers all up and down the Embarcadero. They have the hearts and they have the sea lions. I think the hearts, there's like 40 of them or 50 of the hearts all throughout the city in different spots. And the sea lions, there's probably about the same, probably at least 40 or 50. because yeah, they're all over. It's just it's a benefit for the for the SF General, San Francisco General Hospital. It's the Zuckerberg San Francisco General. Oh yeah, it's a party. You better stop tripping on these stereotypes. Cause in the ghetto there's a good life. We ain't starving like mountain, won't see no rush. When you chill with the rich folks in the hood, you're sitting on leather watching rich friends. Walk by the dope fans, smoking. And what about the brother with the good job? Saving money and working hard. Water house for the wife and kids. You only got one life to live. All right, thanks a lot for watching the vlog. Subscribe and come back for more videos as we show you what San Francisco looks like in the summertime.